Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite written off talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bites, where we take a bite out of the apple and share it with you. And today we have a nice group of people hanging out and talking to us about various things like music and Kickstarters and stuff like that. Yeah, Jerry, I said you were nice, okay?
Where are these nice people you're always introducing?
Oh, man. So let's jump into the nitty gritty of things. AJ, why don't you tell the people who you are and give them the spiel? Go for it.
What's up, world? I am AJ Ampadu, and I'm a part-time Chippendale dancer. No, I am a writer, comic book creator, and hip hop musician. My company is called Earth Tone Kingdom. I am also the writer of Ninjak and Shadow Man for Valiant Alien books. So if you're a mainstream comic book person, I am writing those books for Valiant Alien books. And yeah, you got my Kickstarter open right now. Let's get right into it. My Space Cowboy comic, Kimi Kosmic, is now on Kickstarter. This is the second volume that we are running right now. So she's a space cowboy who has to unravel the mystery of her half alien heritage to prevent an evil corporation from enslaving her people. It's equal parts space opera, spaghetti western, samurai epic. I mixed a lot of genres and a lot of tones. It's all ages, so it's safe for kids, also totally relevant for adults too. So don't think that because you're a grown man that you won't find this comic book interesting, because it's kind of written for everyone. Now, not everything can be for everyone, however, but if you are into science fantasy, I think this will tickle your fancy. And we have all types of variants covers and even a special rose gold foil edition cover on the Kickstarter. So I strongly encourage you to check it out and, you know, see what I have going on. And once again, if you're not into that type of stuff, also, I have my horror book Dragon Face on my website. I also have, you know, as I mentioned, Ninjak versus Roku, which is some assassin on assassin action that's in comic book stores right now. And in October, we will be releasing Shadow Man. If you're familiar with the Shadow Man character, he's a supernatural horror character that's coming out in October. So I kind of write all types of genres and work with all types of artistic teams to do all types of cool, gnarly comics. And my main, I guess, goal is to make original things, unique comic books. So everything I try to write, I try to make it super unique, super original. I am a child of the 80s and 90s comic book storytelling. So that is the type of comic books I try to create. So yeah, that's a quick, long-winded spiel about who I am. And yeah, so once again, Kickstarter's on. The Kickstarter ends Saturday night. So we are at 75% of our goal. So every pledge helps. So if you guys can hop on that Kickstarter and check it out, I guess I'll post it here in the chat. And yeah, and check me out. I'm Earth Tone King, AJ Ampadu, and I'm very happy to be here with you guys. I can't wait to talk comics with you guys today.
AJ, I gotta say, I can see the inspiration on the 80s and 90s in the art style of the comic itself.
Thank you. You know, this comic I wanted just because it was, you know, in all ages. I was really wanted to go with the you know, Steven Universe, Avatar: The Last Airbender, those types of stories that I like. I like those types of things. You know, just because I feel like comics have gotten quite mature. You know, a lot of the comic book dialogue that I have happens to be with 40-year-old dudes. No offense with, you know, anybody on the current stream, because I am a 40-year-old dude. But you know, I just wanted to make something that everyone else could inspire. I have a 2-year-old at home. I hope you don't hear him in the background. But you know, I wanted comic books that were accessible for people of all ages, and something that kind of blended in a lot of different styles of storytelling together. So that's what I hopefully succeeded with Kimi Kosmic, and so far it's been my best selling comic. We sell a lot of these books at comic book conventions. So
yes, you do. Because I remember at Brooklyn Comic Con, you had people coming, taking books.
Yeah, it's definitely you know, like I said, it's a fun book. Like I just think that it's really inspirational. It's just an entertaining read. And yeah, I encourage you guys to check it out if you get a chance. And of course, we have it available digitally. We have it available physically. I see that you're getting now down as you're scrolling down. This is another book that I have called Drone Slayer X, and Drone Slayer X is actually an Afrofuturistic comic book about the world's greatest robotics engineer's daughter having to learn how to utilize his technology to prevent a group of revolutionaries from stealing it and starting off an international war. This one is a bit more mature. This is more, YA, adult, but it's still, I would say PG-13 in terms of, I don't even know how to rate comics nowadays, but I always get this question
Nobody
a lot of
knows how to rate
times.
comics
Yeah,
anymore.
I know, right? I get this question all the time. Is it acceptable for my kid? Acceptable for whatever? I write across the gamut, so I do write for adults and for children. So it's very reasonable line of questioning. This particular comic, I think, is still, there's a little bit more mature, but it's still safe for everyone. But yeah, I really had a lot of fun doing this comic. This is the Anime NYC alternate cover that we are making available with the Kimi Kosmic campaign. The original cover of this completely sold out, so this is a reissue, and we are working on the second issue of that right now. So that is why it's on the campaign, and a lot of the tiers on the campaign include this comic as well. So yeah, if you scroll down a little bit more, there's some interior pages from that. I really like the artist, what they did with this one. That's the original cover right there, and that's our hero. I just love his realistic drawings. He draws people's facial expressions extremely well, so I had a lot of fun with this comic. I think it came out quite good. So yeah, that is another comic that is just in the this Kickstarter is not for Drone Slayer, but I put Drone Slayer as one of the add-ons and one of the tiers. So if you get a couple of these tiers, you will be able to get the Drone Slayer issue along with it. I
actually like when creatives do that, because there's times where you look at the book you're buying and you go, so what else do they do? And then you got to go find it yourself.
Yeah, that's what I hear that a lot, and that was one of the advice I got from a lot of my friends. In fact, the only reason that Drone Slayer is not, or Dragon Face, which is my horror book, is not on here, is it is very mature, R-rated. Okay. So I didn't want to have a kid's book with an R-rated horror book on the Kickstarter campaign.
That makes sense.
So other than that, I would have had that on the campaign as well. So that's the one challenge of when you write so many different genres, you have to be careful with the cross-pollination, because I have had kids come up to my table and grab Dragon Face, and I'm like, oh, you're not, that's actually not for you. So yeah, that's a challenge. But like I said, I like everything. I will literally go watch, a Pixar movie and then watch Alien Romulus directly after it and have equal amount of fun watching both of them. So like I have no problem, jumping around into different genres. But yeah.
I feel like I saw you at the table and I saw what you were doing, and I like the fact that you're doing all this, because it kind of showcases you have a broad audience. You understand what you're doing. You're not just doing one thing. You're like, okay, let's have a little bit of fun everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, when you're an indie comic creator, you can do whatever you want. That's the one thing I like about, like, I could literally write whatever you want. And then the indie comic creators I know, some of these guys are writing crazy stuff. Like I have some friends in the industry who they've pitched me their idea, and I'm like, you know what? I have no idea what this comic is about, but bless your heart for having the faith in yourself to make it happen. Because how many, you think of David Lynch and how, or Quentin Tarantino, and their ideas are so crazy. It's really hard to get that type of stuff greenlit if you're trying to work with certain studios or whatnot. Oh, so when you're self-published, you can have this crazy idea for something. There were a lot of people who didn't understand Kimi Kosmic, who were like, I don't really get it, and some of my other stories, they didn't really understand them. So sometimes you just have to do it yourself, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to realize your vision. And then once it's realized, then people see it physically and they're like, oh, wait a minute, now I get it. I see what you were saying. Okay, I see what you did there. Now I want to invest in it. So it's really hard to get, especially nowadays, to get a lot of people to take chances on you, because it's hard to make money in comics. So you got to take that chance on yourself. And yeah, that's kind of like where I am with my indie comic career. Now, the mainstream comic stuff with Valiant Alien books is completely different. It's a completely different experience. They do the lion's share of the work. I really am just a hired hand. I just write scripts. I submit it to them, and they
Sometimes
make the
it's nice
comic.
like that, though. You get to relax.
It's you know what? It's the best of both worlds because on one end, sometimes I feel like I'm too compartmentalized where I don't have enough much control on the mainstream side. But it is very nice to just send off a script and get a finished comic back like a month later. That's really, really cool and comforting, and also to get paid for it. Like it's quite satisfying. So yeah, I'm very blessed to be in this position where I have the best of both worlds. I can do my own indie rock band stuff, and then I can do my mainstream, marching band stuff where I'm a member of a marching band, and I have to, make sure I'm in sync with the rest of the band. So yeah.
And you're right. That's the great thing about indie comics. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, how's Valiant doing these days? I'm just curious.
So that's a great question. Valiant Comics is a lot of people may or may not know. Quick history on Valiant Comics. They've been around since the 90s. They are the third longest running superhero connected universe. So directly behind Marvel and DC, you have Valiant. They are number 3. They've been around, started by Jim Shooter in the early 90s. They have a great cast of characters. I fell in love with Valiant comic books in the late 90s when I was a teenager. That was my favorite comic book universe. I actually liked them more than Marvel and DC. They never had that huge mainstream well, I wouldn't say they didn't have mainstream appeal, but they never got to like the Marvel and DC level of like having a bunch of movies and stuff like that. They did have one movie with Vin Diesel, Bloodshot, that came out around 2020, but kind of got buried in that whole pandemic stuff. So fast forward to now, Valiant Comics was kind of like in a space where they weren't releasing that many books. They had got purchased by a foreign film company or entertainment company called DMG. And during that transition, they kind of took a break from publishing for a little bit. Then their publishing rights were transferred over to a company called Alien Books. Alien Books is, I believe, they're an Argentinian company that have their own line of books, but they also translated a lot of Marvel, DC, and Image and Valiant comics into Spanish and distributed them in Spanish-speaking countries. So they were given the license to create original Valiant comics. So now the Valiant comic book universe continuity has continued through the acquisition of the Alien Books brand. And these guys are great. These guys are comic book makers. Like they are really into the paper, the art, the color. Like they're very much into the art of comic book creation. So Valiant has been continuing their stories with Alien Books, and right now we're in the midst of the storyline called The Resurgence. So it's a great title because it's kind of like a message to fans that the Valiant universe is resurging, because a lot of people thought that they went away, that the storylines are being dropped, that the company got sold. No one, myself, I was even wondering like, what's up with Valiant? So now we're in this resurgence where we're kind of telling everyone, hey, characters are around, storylines are still here. We've got great creative teams and great artistic teams that are continuing these stories, and you should hop on right now because we have this these storylines going on. And there's a 5-issue kind of event, if you want to think of like how Marvel has their events, Civil War or whatnot. This is a Valiant event called The Resurgence, and that starts in September. Issue number 1 comes out tomorrow, or next month rather. So in September is the beginning of this event, and this event it literally all the characters that have been in Valiant since the 2012 relaunch and everything are all coming together in this storyline in a really cool and interesting way. I'm a co-writer. I'm sorry, I'm just babbling on. I was gonna say I'm a co-writer on that storyline, so that is a great jumping on point. But yeah,
that's exactly what I was gonna ask. You think it's a good jumping on point? So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. I think.
What's the name? AJ, what's the name of the one of the editors? There was one of the the editors in chief or editors of.
The editor in chief right now is Lisa Hawkins.
Lisa. There was a dude though. I heard a guy on the on a podcast like 6 months ago.
It might have been Mateus. Mateus is actually the owner of Alien Books. So he's the one who actually he's the head boss at Alien. I heard
him. I think it was him. I heard him on a podcast a couple of months ago, like a writer podcast. I forget which one it is, but right. Talking about that specifically, it was like about how the Valiant universe had kind of gone almost dormant for a while because of all the business stuff behind the scenes, and so they were building it all back. I had a question: when you work with them, you're working with an editor. when you do your Kimi and your other books for Kickstarter that are totally indie, do you have an editor that you work with too? Do you
Yes,
like
I
that
do.
kind of relationship, or do you work on your own?
Yes, I do have an editor. Her business name is Cactus Blossom, but her name is Linan Carroll, and working with her, man, she's tough as nails. Like, I remember when you were a kid and you used to hand in like your book report, and you would get it back from the teacher and it would be covered with red because of all the errors and mistakes you made. Like, that's how all of my scripts come back from her. I'm just like, geez, do I even know how to write? So it's good to have an editor who's that ironclad in terms of making sure your grammar, sense and structure, composition and continuity is all right, because if I'm going to put out an independent comic, it has to be at the level of a mainstream comic. And I do read indie comics that have spelling errors, that have grammatical errors and things like that, or continuity errors. And I'm like, you probably didn't get an editor, because to be truthful, when you're putting together a comic book team independently, the editor is like the last thing you think about. And you also just kind of like, do I really need an editor? I can just put my text through Grammarly and, just do it that way. But you do need an editor. You need a second pair of trained professional eyes to look at your script, no matter how good of a writer you are. You need another set of eyes to look at your script and say, hey, listen, this isn't working, that's not working. Or there's other things that editors do, like they can create story Bibles for you, or like, for instance, Kimi Kosmic has a lot of accents, for instance, and she tracks all of my different accents so they're consistent. So then when I write the next volume, if somebody says a certain word and they didn't say it that way in the last issue, she'll pick up on that. So that's something that an editor, a really good editor is able to do. So yes, long-winded answers to all questions is what I'm giving out tonight. Yes, I do use an editor.
Hey, remember when Marvel DC had editors that were good and could catch these things?
Listen, editors are so important, especially in a Valiant where you have a mainstream comic where you have all these different storylines going on at the same time, and you have multiple writers writing all the storylines. Someone has to keep track of all that. Like, someone has to make sure everything falls into place. So,
yeah. Quick tangent. When I was a kid, I used to buy Valiant's and Nintendo comic books because Nintendo had comic books like from Valiant a long time ago. And it was like the only time that ever happened. So, but that,
bro, Deep Dive. I remember those. Deep Dive. That's great. Great call.
They had Nintendo. No, they had Mario. They had Link. They had Captain and the Game Master, but they couldn't use any of the other characters. Right before Mega Man was about to appear, it got canceled. but yeah, but that got me to like check out other things. But just during the years, I completely fell off. So it's cool that in September there's a nice jumping on point.
Yeah, I mean, you could even, I would even say that September is a great jumping on point. But they've been kind of creating jumping on points all year. Like I started writing Ninjak versus Roku, which is a 4-issue miniseries that started in June and that's ending this month. And I would consider that a jumping on point. Basically all the storylines that have come out from the beginning of the year until September have been branded The Road to Resurgence. So it was almost like prequel tie-ins to this tie-in. So I don't want to say that you have to read those, but you could read those, and those would suffice as great jumping on points. They're also reprinting all of the Valiant volumes since 2012. So in 2012, there was a big continuity reboot where basically the current Valiant continuity was rebooted in 2012. They're reprinting all of those in these deluxe volumes.
Nice.
So right now, the comic book industry is all about reprinting. I don't know if you guys heard about talked about the DC Digest books and stuff like that, but reprinting older comics and putting them in easy to read formats is how we're going to bring new readers into comics, because new readers cannot do the whole Wednesday Warrior floppies collecting Spider-Man 307 through 328 to like read they don't know how to do that. They read manga that's easily digestible in single volumes. So DC finally figured that out, and they've done these Reader's Digest like cheap versions of their classic graphic novels, and they're selling like hotcakes. Apparently they can't even keep them in the stores. So I think it's going to start a whole new wave of like American comics being printed manga style, which is a long time coming. In fact, Valiant Alien tried to do that and they weren't super successful because the American, their fans were like, no, we want monthly floppies. That's what we want to read, and that's okay. That's if you want to collect and you like the alternate covers, that's cool. But there's a whole world of non-comic book readers who will be brought into comics by not reading floppies, but by reading digestible graphic novels with the stories beginning, middle, and end, and not a lot of homework. People don't want all that homework. That, of course, unfortunately, mainstream comics is a lot of homework. Just like we're talking about right now, like you trying to figure out how to start the resurgence. Like, where do I start? There's like, a bunch of different titles, and you got to go and collect each one. That's a lot of work. And you go to the comic book store, they might not have every issue. They might have like, only a few. So it's just not easy to get into a lot of comic book stories nowadays. So, yeah.
Yeah, they don't make it any easier. Keep resetting it to number one.
Oh boy! But see, the reason they do that is because the data we get is that the number ones just always sell more than the other ones. So the editors and the publishers were like, all right, you guys want more number ones or alternate covers? We're gonna keep giving you more number ones. So it's I see both sides. I see both sides. I think
when you try to like put your comics in the long boxes, it is the pain in the neck because you run into different sets of X-Men number ones and different sets of which number one and which number two.
Or research when you try to research a title to read it. Like if you go on Amazon or whatever, it'll be like Spider-Man, and it'll have like 30 different Spider-Man titles because every time it gets rebooted rather. Or just not even reboot it, just go to a new number one. It's a new series that's like cataloged in Amazon. So now you got to go by year. It's like, is it Spider-Man 2018 or is it Spider-Man 2014? Like it just gets more and more complicated and just once again less accessible.
My favorite is when they reset it, but it's the same exact creative team. Like
right, like what's the purpose?
The same exact creative team, it's just the number one. That's like what,
I asked this question, and the answer that I get is that number ones just sell more, and that's what. Yeah. So they keep doing it just to get the numbers up. That's what it's always about money, right?
You said it right, AJ. The whole problem is that nobody wants to do their homework anymore. Nobody wants to do the research. Nobody wants to do the stuff we did as kids in the 80s and 90s. It was like, oh, if you want to know what happened in what's happening here, check out issue 304, and then we go find issue 304.
Right. That was fun. That was fun for us, but I guess we didn't have social media or like, Call of Duty. So, we don't have as much they don't have as much time to do that anymore. So we got to make it easy for them.
That's true. All right, Jerry, go for it. Do your spiel.
My spiel? You always surprise me, man. I'm like in the conversation here. I'm in the moment now. Do this to cons too.
Oh,
all right, ready, go.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it. This is a book called The Cloakroom. We're in the second issue. It's an anthology series. It is an anthology series that specifically exists to publish the work of students who are in Scott Snyder's writing workshop class that he does through his Substack. So it started about 2 years ago as a larger book. This group of the students did a 18 stories in like 120-page trade on Kickstarter. It was a Herculean task. A year later, a completely different group of people did exactly the same thing. Volume 2, Herculean task. They didn't want to do it again either. A lot of these people were in college. Some of them are still in school. And so my partner, Veronica Howell, and I took over the project a few months back. It's probably like 8 or 10 months ago now. No, last Halloween. We're coming up on 10 or 11 months. And we put out a call. We got like 81 stories from people. And what we did was we converted it rather than doing one big trade with everyone's stories all at one time and trying to get 81 groups of people on the same page. We turned it into a serial release. So every 3 months, there's a new issue of the book. This is issue 2. We're up to 13 stories. Both issues are available in the campaign, but what you're scrolling through right now is a sample page from each story. And that's the whole spiel, basically. I'm an editor on it. I don't have a story in it myself yet. I'm the editor and publisher. My partner on the project is Veronica Howell. She's an editor on it as well. And we meet with all the writers, and they submit stories that are in all different shapes. So we'll get a 1-page pitch. We'll get a 1-paragraph logline. We'll get we'll get an almost complete comic, or what the creator, thinks is an almost complete comic. And then we have a meeting and we talk through the story, what works, what doesn't. It's kind of a nice excuse for Veronica and I to exercise our editor brain, because we're both writers too. And so the writing part of it, it's rather than meeting with someone going like, this is how I would write it, you're meeting with people and trying to help them make the best version of their story. That's why I was asking AJ all the questions about working with editors. I just think it's a fascinating relationship, and like part of it is, proofreading and keeping the train on the tracks and everything. But part of it is also, we'll get a script that's a good idea that's just not, they haven't thought out the best way to put the story in order in a way that like makes sense for the comic book medium. A lot of people can tell a good story, but if you're writing, I'm a television writer and producer too. So if you're writing for television, you're writing up until a commercial break, and those are your cliffhangers. In a comic book, you have page turns, and just the mechanics of a script and how you format it and how you keep it exciting for keeping the reader going as opposed to keeping the viewer watching. It's always been fascinating to me. But that's it. We work with it's a lot of first time creators who are publishing their very first story. Scott does this class roughly once a month. He'll bring on other people and talk shop, and kind of, he did a class, for example, that was about an easy way to set up a mystery, like mystery writing, and something he said in the class directly inspired one of the stories in this issue. And that's kind of the organizing principle of the whole thing, is that we try to get everyone to talk about something they took away from the group or the class or the whole community of cloakroom people from Scott's orbit, and how they applied it to their craft of making comics.
I gotta say, I love this. I like what you guys are doing. I think it's important because it's a good way to get some people who probably wouldn't be seen for a long time seen.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Is like, it's sort of like a lot of people, I think, listen to him talk and just listen to him talk shop, and they're not really looking to apply it to their own work. But the people who do are working on it, you actually in his class, if you're whatever tier you need to be at, there's a tier where you submit your script and your writing to him, and he gives you notes and feedback on it.
Nice.
And so a lot of people in the class do that. So some of these stories have gone through a round of notes with Scott too, which is kind of cool.
I like that, and especially because it's hard to get like help that way. We know we're in the industry. Getting somebody to help you like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's really cool. He's obviously very busy, and like still takes the time most months to do this class and to have what he calls office hours with us. So I've met with him twice, I think. A couple of these people have met with him a dozen times now because they've been at it for 3 or 4 years.
Right. My impression of him is that he seems like a really nice guy. Like every time
he's awesome. He's very sweet. He's like a really cool. He's very like down to earth. He's like, I think he knows in some ways he's very lucky. Like, he's good at what he does, obviously, but there are a lot of people who are good and who just never really get a shot. And he, was in the right place at the right time and did the right things at the right time. And so he's very humble about it. He doesn't have like a gigantic ego about what he's doing. And it's kind of cool. It's like fun listening to him talk shop. He'll have people on. He had Will Dennis on, which was fascinating. Will's like a all-star editor, and Josh Williamson, and he had Kyle Higgins on, and James Tynan, like a bunch of different people, artists. He had Greg Capullo on, and they'll talk about how to collaborate with an artist and the best way to do that. And so you kind of get a lot out of it that way. Sometimes there are episodes where it's like, how to, as a successful writer, how to take your projects and kind of cycle your option contracts. And I'm like, most of the people listening to this don't have option contracts, but like, I appreciate it,
Jordan's like, hey, now that Jerry Carita guy's a nice looking dude.
Jordan, thank you, Jordan. Jordan's
hey, Jordan.
I think Jordan came into my orbit because of another book I did, Reign of Dracula. He's
definitely
big fan of Rich and Les's on that.
He is. But I love what I love about Jordan is that once he becomes a fan about one thing and it crosses over somewhere else, all of a sudden he's a fan of that.
Oh yeah. No, he's awesome. He's been very supportive of all the projects I've had going so far.
I gotta ask you, how did you find out about the class? Because until I met you, I hadn't heard about Scott doing the class.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was just doing it. So I I'm a television producer, and one of the things I did years ago, I worked on 2 shows that Scott made appearances on in different ways. One was called Geeking Out. It was a talk show with Kevin Smith and Greg Grunberg interviewing people. In the pilot, we were at New York Comic Con. It's a funny story. We were at New York Comic Con shooting the pilot. I think it was 2014. And Kevin was going to interview Scott and Greg. They had just, like, the New 52 was still fresh. And so we had to get from one part of the con to the other with Kevin. And Kevin is like, you know, a very recognizable dude, and you can't just walk through the floor with him, but that's what he decided to do.
Whoa.
So with like no security, he just started walking, and I was like, all right, here we're going, let's go. And we're
doing this.
Yeah, like we're doing it. It's happening live. We're doing live, you know? And so he interviewed Scott. I met Scott for the first time then. And then Scott appeared on Comic Book Men some years later, which is another show I worked on. That was another Kevin Smith project. So I just knew, you know, I was following his career anyway. My cousin also, Ralph, as you know, my cousin is a writer. My cousin is James Tynan, and so he was working with Scott. Got his start on the New 52 at DC Comics around the same time I was doing Comic Book Men. So I started reading all my cousin's work. It was all the same work Scott was doing, and I've been following him ever since. So, you know, when he announced that he was doing this class, I jumped into it.
I'm happy you said that because I keep telling people how small the circle is. Because some people like to make waves. And I keep telling them, what are you doing? You know, people don't know those people. How do you know they don't know those people?
Right.
That's crazy. That's a lot of great tangential connections to some really amazing creators. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Snyder and Tynion. So the fact that you're related and work so closely with them, that's amazing. I also got a chance to meet Kevin Smith and on his podcast. He was in Jersey for the Schmod Castle.
At the Schmod Castle,
yeah. Him and Mark Bernard. I'm a huge Mark Bernardin fan, so I got to meet him as well. So that's awesome. That's just really
I haven't gotten to meet Mark, but I love Mark. I'm a big fan. I worked on the Geeking Out had Mark and Tiffany Smith. Not Mark, had Tiffany Smith, Kevin, and Greg. And so Tiffany has done a lot of work with Mark too. They've done some projects together. So I follow her. But yeah, I've been really lucky. I just kind of like, you know, I had a couple. I haven't actually used my cousin yet. I haven't asked for any favors, not yet. I figure when I'm ready, I'll ask for a big one. I'm gonna hit up that. I'm gonna hit up that. Hey, cuz, I'm gonna hit that up one time. I'm gonna hit it up one time. You know,
I'll be saving that thing. Like, this is it. This is that one wish.
That's it. That's it. I ask him for advice all the time. You know, like we meet up for drinks from time to time, and we do Christmas together. And like I'll text him like when I first started doing this, you know, what are reasonable artist rates and like really basic stuff that he definitely did not need to take the time to be like, let me tell you how everything works. But he totally did. And so, you know, I've been very lucky to have like guidance from a lot of cool people.
That's really good. And again, it's one of those things that we don't get much. It's so funny. A lot of people look at the industry and they think it's it's easy, but it's never that easy because you don't get that guidance, especially as a comic book writer. Because as a you know, as an artist, you got some kind of guidance, but as a comic book writer, it's like figure it out.
Well, I think there's also something that like, you know, we don't really talk about a lot, which is what I've noticed is at this level, you know, where everyone is like a lot. I'm in a handful of Discord groups with people who are pretty prominent, you know, Kickstarter people that I talk to online all the time, that I've been on shows like this with before. And they're all super nice and they have their own little universe that they've built and their own fan base, and they don't view each other as competition. Yeah. And I think that probably a level or two above where we're at, you start to view other people as competition a little bit. And so, you know, you don't always want to help the next class of people coming up behind you because you know you're going to get like edged out by the new hot thing, you know? I think that's the case with everything in life, I think. Like my TV work is the same way. Everyone's very supportive at a certain level. A rising tide lifts all ships until everyone's got a big ass ship. And then it's like, well, I want a bigger boat, you know, and then it becomes like an argument. It becomes a thing. But like I said, I've been really lucky because the people I've been, you know, my cousin, Scott, they've all kind of carved out their own niche of fans. Yeah. And they have a very clear idea of who they are and who their fan base is. You know, James is like very well aware of what kinds of people like to buy his books, and he writes for those people, you know, and he knows what he's doing when he does that. So it's like they're not those people who are like jealous and whatever. But you hear stories, people getting mad.
Oh, definitely. We hear it all the time.
Of course. But like, I've been really lucky. All these guys, everyone I've been in contact with has been really awesome and always willing to answer dopey questions. And like Charlie Stickney and Pat Shand don't need to be answering people's questions about like, which printer should I use? Like they're on these Discord channels, like answering every question from people.
Pat Shand is always amazing, and it's always funny because we're like, oh, it's not something must be happening if there's not a Pat Shand Kickstarter happening.
Well, I mean, now he's got three different imprints, so there is always a Pat Shand Kickstarter. At least
that's what we're saying.
Usually two. I think he's got two going right now. He has one wrapping up like tomorrow, and another one started 2 days ago.
And then at Anime NYC, he has two booths.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Two booths. So you got the booth over here doing one thing, and the booth over here doing another thing. Yeah. And then Pat was trying to be there,
and that's what I'm saying. Sick, he's got a really good idea. He knew what he wanted to write. He knows what he wants to write. He knows who his audience is. He knows how to show it to the right audience. And that's just like good writing, good creating, coupled with like smart business sense and an ability to build an audience that just wants your thing. And he did that for years, writing in Zenoscope and other places. And he like built a very particular kind of audience, and he wrote for those people, and so he's doing very well.
I gotta say, with Pat, it always bugs me out because everybody thinks he's just doing certain things. Then all of a sudden, his name shows up at some other book, all the way over there, and you're like, Pat, when did you write that? Because he's constantly writing.
Can I just answer a question, Jordan? Your books are in the mail, buddy. Your books are in the mail. I shipped it all out. We did this Kickstarter for Reign of Dracula. It had 26 cover options.
Whoa!
Never again. Never. I'll never do that. Way too many. Like,
that's way too many.
Way too many. Like 16 covers, too many. Yeah.
They were beautiful.
They were beautiful. They're great. They're in boxes all over my house right now. But like, I only just got them all, and I just started shipping them in the last week. But Jordan, yours was shipped today. I think I dropped yours in the mail today.
Quick question: was Jordan the first to get to your campaign? Because I swear he's probably in his book. He's got in his book of world records for being the first for every Kickstarter campaign.
For Reign of Dracula, he definitely tried. Let me see where he landed on this one. Yeah, he was like number 2. He actually, you know what? For Reign of Dracula, he was number 2, and he was.
Yes.
Look! You hailed him.
Yeah. I said his name too many times in a row.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
What's up, Jordan?
What's up?
Hey, good. Hey. The best idea.
I want to get in on this.
The best I ever did, I think, for Modern was like number 5, and then I realized, oh wait a minute, that's the date. That's the bond date. I could get more money. So I went back out, came back in, and I'm like number 17 or 18.
Yeah.
That's as good as I ever got.
Oh man. All right, Jolene, it is your turn. Tell everybody who you are. Give them the spiel. Go for it.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I've just been very quiet at this whole time. I'm not really in the realm of comic books, but I'm a composer. You see, I write music for video games, tabletop games, films, animations, and things like that. I graduated at the Royal College of Music in 2021. And I've been composing for media since then. I've been doing a lot of like D&D music. Like I don't know if you know about the High Rollers. I'm based in the UK, and High Rollers is like kind of like the big thing in the UK and Europe. So I've been writing music for them, and last year we did like a orchestral theme that we recorded at the Budapest Scoring Orchestra, which actually recorded a few Netflix film soundtracks there. And yeah, it's been fun working with them. And what am I doing right now? The thing is, like, I've been doing a lot of like small projects, and then it kind of accumulates to like I'm doing a lot, and then I need to kind of list it out, which is a bit of a problem. But mainly I'm doing like video game mentorships to where we build games, and then we kind of like push them out, and we'll see what happens, really.
Dude, you are all over the place. I love that. I love that you do. So wait, are you a gamer as well?
Am I a what? Sorry?
Are you a gamer as well? A gamer.
Oh yeah, I play video games, definitely. I mean, like,
of course she does. Of course.
That's what I figured, but I needed to ask.
This happened to me last Thursday, and it was like the biggest thing that ever happened that week. So I did like a piano transcription because I play piano. I did a piano transcription of Mass Effect 3's soundtrack. I don't know if you recall I Am Proud of You by Sam Hewlett. It was the scene. Spoilers alert. I know the game has been out for 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah, they should have played it already by now.
You're still playing the game. Just leave the stream and come back 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was. Well, I think everyone should be okay right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I remember one time I said a spoiler for Fist of North Star, and they were like, "Spoiler!" I'm like, "Yo, dude, he's 30 years old." It was like, "No, you messed up." All right.
It's always dangerous.
Yeah.
Big spoilers, especially this scene where Captain Admiral Anderson passed away, or like, and he says, "I'm proud of you." That's like that very beautiful soundtrack by Sam Hewlett. I played it, recorded, put it on Twitter. X now. Sam Hewlett saw it, which was great. I just wanted him checking out my music. Michael Gamble saw it and reposted it.
See, that's the way to go. That's when you know you're catching attention.
I'm hoping it catches like good attention. I mean, like I'm glad everyone liked it. Apparently made people cry, which was like I'm gonna take that as a win.
Well, you should take it as a win because you're even winning awards.
Oh yeah, yes. Recently I won the Crit Awards. It's the it's a very long name. Oh my god, that name is long. Best instrumental by a musician in a TTRPG space.
Whew.
Yeah, it's long.
Oh man.
Yeah, I won because of the High Rollers theme, which we recorded, and I'm glad that people loved it, and I'm planning something big for this. So just to like let you know what's gonna happen is we're gonna I'm gonna be releasing piano renditions of the theme because like we can never hire a 60-piece orchestra to play whenever we want.
That's true.
In person. I mean, there's recordings, but you want the live thing is always very difficult. So I made piano renditions of it. It will be going on sale very soon. Just putting it out there.
And folks, you gotta really listen to her stuff. It's amazing. Especially if you're out there doing some role playing. We're constantly looking for some good music to play in the background when we're doing our thing. And this is some good stuff.
I have a question.
Thank you.
What are there any concerns? And for one, just you have an incredible resume here, and I'm very excited to be hearing all this information. And I will definitely be listening to this music because I love this type of stuff when I write. I love having this stuff playing in the background when I'm writing. So definitely check out your stuff. My question is are there any concerns on your part or people who work in your industry about AI and how a lot of companies are starting to use AI to do composition and things like that?
That's a good question, actually. So there's this composer who actually did a poll for filmmakers, like, hey, would you be interested in using AI in your films? And there's like a whole 80% are like, no, we're just gonna hire composers. And a few is like, I'm not sure about the current situation. And the least is more of like, I want to try it and see what happens.
Wow.
So there is still a huge support on film composing because, again, music does help with the narrative and weave the story through these music and these moments in certain scenes. And there is people using AI now, or like, oh yeah, I did this film with just using all AI and stuff. However, there is a lawsuit going on. I'm not sure about the context, but it's more of like certain like composers. They kind of like, we have like a copyright system where if you use certain melodies, they would like, the system would actually detect it, and yeah, they're gonna get like in trouble with it. So I don't know the full context, but I say that at the moment we are kind of protected pretty well, and the community seems to have the same idea of like, we want genuine new music. We don't want people using AI just to create what has been created, just like with a different like twist, I guess. It's not genuine, like it's not human, and I think music created by humans is the most beautiful thing.
I hope it really stays that way. Not only with music, of course, but also for us writers too. You know, there always seems to be this push for these companies to try to replace creatives, and luckily that the actors and stuff, they seem to have future-proofed themselves against artificial intelligence. But hopefully in music composition and in writing, we continue to be the main source of the content. So thank you so much for answering my question. I gotta hop off, guys. Thank you so much for letting me be on here, and I really appreciate
all that stuff before you go. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm on earthtoneking.com. If you go to Earthstone King, you'll get pretty much all my information. IG Earthtone_Kingdom. There's links to the Kickstarter there. There's links to my Twitter. I'm most active on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, send me questions. Ask me questions. I'm always down to help out and help wherever I can. So thank you again for allowing me to be here. And yeah.
All right. AJ, you're welcome anytime. We know you got to go.
Yep.
Really cool work. Really lovely.
All right, guys. Thank you. Very nice to meet you as well. All right, guys. See you later.
All right. Let's see. Go back to where Jolene was. Here we go. Go ahead. Continue, Jolene.
Where are we continuing from?
Well, you answered a good question for AJ. So I guess do you do D&D or any of the role playing games?
Oh yeah. I mean, I play D&D with my friends now. I started the whole D&D thing started off in Reddit actually.
Right.
Writing for music started off for D&D started in Reddit, where I was trying to apply for work. Didn't get it, but my profile was up there, and then Derek, I maybe you know Derek from Nomnivore Games. He actually approached me from Reddit.
I was about to mention Derek from Nomnivore Games. Go ahead.
Yes, lovely guy. He's amazing, but again, he should rest because this guy does not stop working.
Oh no, we know that already because every time we run into him, he looks so tired, but he's gonna keep working.
Oh yeah, and he has a Kickstarter going on. Yes, I actually wrote the music for the Kickstarter.
I know. I figured that's why I put it up right now as you talk about it. Go for it.
Yeah. So he actually asked me to would you be interested in trying out D&D? Because back in Malaysia, this is where I'm from Malaysia.
Right.
I came to the UK to study. Back in Malaysia, D&D is not a thing. It's nobody talks about it. I have no idea what it is until I watch TV shows or Stranger Things like that. And then I got a little bit info about it, but not like a full grasp of like what D&D is until like Derek introduced me into TTRPG, and then which kind of slowly snowballed into like more and more things. And Derek, he has asked me to like work on a few projects. It's still in the making. Can't say anything yet. But things like non-ventures, I just write like very, very fun, catchy tunes to kind of go along with their Kickstarter to kind of get people to get interested in the game. But the game itself is already very interesting.
Oh, the game is completely interesting. He does an amazing job at making these games, and that's why we've been showing off the Kickstarter. Since he put it up there, I was like, go check out Nomnivore Games. This is a great start for kids. It's a great, because a lot of us role players look for a place to get our kids to start, and this is the great place to get it to start. It's not D&D, but at the same time, it's still role playing.
Exactly, and you kind of want to like. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, when you get a chance, maybe play the video. We can hear some of her music in the video.
I think we'll try it. I want to do it. I have a feeling we're gonna get like a. Go ahead, Jolene. And tell
I
us
think it's on
which
Instagram.
song that you want us to play.
Yeah.
Oh, which song do you? Oh, okay. How about this? Since I want to kind of promote Derek's like music as thing going on as well, you can try it on Instagram. I know Instagram has the music in the video.
All right, cool.
And then another track, it would be the Althea the Dragon Empire main theme. I think that one is in YouTube. It would be nice to show everyone the video where we actually recorded with the full orchestra, and you can actually see the orchestra members playing. I think that would be a treat if everyone's interested.
So you keep talking, and I'll keep looking.
So let me just tell you where it is. So the Instagram one, just go to Omnivore Games Instagram page. You should see it there. And for the YouTube one, I could like give you the link. I think that'll be easier.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem. Oh geez. Give me a second. Yeah, and it's a good shout out to High Rollers actually. They're doing a live show in their first ever live show in the Adelphi Theatre in London.
Right.
So yeah. I know you guys are in the US, so it's like flying over is just a lot of money. So I'm just putting out that if anyone's happens to be
the idea. We want to get over there sooner or later.
Yeah, Rob, make some phone calls. Make some phone calls. Get us some.
Let's see.
London is fun.
I want to do the Jack the Ripper tour if I ever go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know which post has it?
Let's just scroll a little bit down. I think it's like that one, the one with the candy, with the dinosaurs and the candy.
Wait.
The one above. The one that, yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah, that one.
That is funny cute. You know what's funny? Now that I'm listening to this, you put it in here. Hold on, dude, I gotta show people. Hey, I didn't tell you to do that. I gotta show people because it's one extreme to another. That music and what you have. Let me just show it off. People will see what I'm saying. Here we go. I gotta say, wow. I can see where you're winning awards. Woo!
Thank you.
Damn.
I would say watch the whole video if you're interested. Like there's like that climactic part in the middle. It was a little bit more after that, a few seconds more. That track was very inspired by, if you can hear it, it's actually from How to Train Your Dragons. Kind of like inspirational, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like John Williams-y like orchestration style.
It is.
Like
Yeah.
They are like amazing, and the whimsical part is from Joe Hisaishi's music from Studio Ghibli. So I love their music very, very much, and that kind of like built kind of my music style.
But like I was saying, that's a huge difference. You got this cutesy thing, and then you got the orchestral amazing.
but both were amazing, man. I love orchestra, and I love video game music. I remember as a kid, I used to record these 8-bit songs from my radio. From my thing, I used to put them on because I used to listen to them. And people were like, "What's wrong with you? You're so weird. Why are you listening to video game music?" But come to the 2000s, around like the 2000s, everybody was using 8-bit music.
Exactly.
Their pop songs. I was like, "See, I told you, I was right." I felt like so just. But yeah, orchestra music is always amazing, especially when you hear it live. It's amazing.
I agree. I mean, like nowadays, there's so
inside. It's amazing.
It feels so cool, especially when you play like the video games, and then they actually translate it into orchestral. And then there's like concerts right now. If you want to go watch Final Fantasy orchestral concerts, it's there. There's the film and live orchestra concerts. There's the I went to the Elden Ring concert. I think it was in April, and it was really cool. It was before the DLC came out, and they were showcasing the DLC as well, which was really cool.
Wow.
Yes, I play Elden Ring.
Have you beaten Elden Ring?
Uh-oh.
Yes, I've beaten Elden Ring. I've beaten the DLC. I'm very proud to say that because that end boss was a mess. That boss was annoying.
You are better than me.
I have to show you this then because I got this hoodie.
Oh, snap.
Woo!
That's cool.
Oh my god, it's just upside down at this point. Yes.
No, you're good. I saw what it was once you unfolded it.
Everybody up there is going, we know what it is.
Yeah, we know.
I actually calculated how many times it took me to defeat her. It was 89 times, and it was very not fun.
That's one of those moments where you get pissed off at the game. You're like, I'm gonna beat you. Or you gotta walk away.
My God.
That's what I do. I get pissed off. I walk away. Come back.
Yeah, you keep playing, and then walk away, get back. And then, sometimes you turn it right back on and get it right away. That's what I hate. You spend like a day, 2 days sleep, and then come back 3 days later. You do it like this. It's like, oh.
It's always fun. I mean, like, have you guys finished Elden Ring yet?
No. I've seen how it ends, but
I don't play those type of games. So.
It's fine.
I have something called a skill issue, so don't worry.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is difficult. It is
the rest of my 2024 in terms of gaming is pretty full.
I mean, they had a lot of bangers. I mean, they had like Baldur's Gate in 2023, and it was like there was a lot. And there's also Lies of P. There's a lot of like games that I play as well. But again, I think the most important thing that I really liked about like these like Souls-like games is they have really good soundtracks.
Yeah,
they have really good music.
Yeah.
And it's you. That's what you remember at times. People think you remember the game, but the music is what's put you into the game. If you didn't have the music, the game would be kind of, it'll probably still be good, but at the same time, you wouldn't feel that emotion that you do with the game.
Exactly. It's not as memorable. It's like, you did fight the boss, but like the music kind of like weaves you through the whole process of fighting the boss. And every time you play the music, you remember that moment where you defeated that boss.
Yeah. For like video game concerts, if you ever get a chance, go. Like I've been to, I think Video Games Live about 2 times.
Nice.
And I've seen Capcom perform 2 times, and then online, there are a lot of them online. Like they're great. Like online, I've seen. Sometimes they'll be there temporarily, or sometimes you gotta pay like $20 to like watch it for a day. But I've seen like there were some on the Nintendo Switch. They had the concert, Splatoon concert, and recently they had a Sonic concert. It was free. There was a Street Fighter concert. It was amazing. You had to pay like $20 just to watch it, but it was amazing. So I mean, yeah, if you ever get a chance to go to a video game concert or even an anime concert, there's going to be a Demon Slayer concert in Brooklyn, man. It's crazy.
Hey,
Oh, that's
hey.
so cool. That's very
To be
cool.
fair, King's Theater just put on an amazing 2-night concert.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there, man.
As you can see, that's why as soon as I ran into your music, I was like, I gotta get on the show.
Thank you for checking it out. Really, thank you. I'm glad you have me on here. This is fun. I mean, I'm really sorry I couldn't contribute more on the comic book part of
Don't
things.
worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
The geeking out happens no matter what. As you can tell, we've been geeking out now about the music.
we talk about comic books all the time. How often do we orchestra perform or even video game music? We don't get music here, you know. So.
Exactly.
Aww.
Yeah,
it's always great when we have the music, and we love music. We love video game music. And I gotta say,
I'm really happy to share this. Yes.
It's so funny because Omnivore has brought attention to us on a bunch of things, and it's always funny to me that because he's always telling us, hey Ralph, did you check this out? Or Ralph, did you check but you popped up on his thing, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And folks, you really do need to go check out this Kickstarter. It's amazing. I don't know if you guys have checked out Emberwind, which is his other game. I feel like he has his finger on something. These RPGs are a great way to role play. And it's funny saying that, but I feel like there's a lot of RPGs that you don't get to role play.
And I think after working with Derek and seeing how the story is, because the music is gonna be related to the story, it's so beautiful how each story kind of relates to the next part, and it's I think the non-involved games really wrote really good stories in Emberwind especially.
Oh, definitely.
And it's been fun working with them.
That's how we met him. He was at Anime NYC. And we went and we did an interview with him about Emberwind.
I see. That's fun.
Yeah, well, that was a while ago, man. That was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's very long time ago. I wish. I mean, I really wish to meet Derek in person. I have never met Derek.
Oh, you have to meet Derek.
He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
He is.
He's so lovely. We have Discord calls. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have in-person calls, but we never met in never shake his hand thanks for hiring me, that sort of thing.
I'm supposed to try to get him on the show. He's been kind of busy, but if I can get him on, I'll bring you back on.
Sure. I mean, if he's on, I'm happy to be on. And yeah, I mean, love to chat with him again on funny geeking of stuff, not just work, geeking on video game music is always fun.
Oh, he's a great geek out. Folks, let me see, what else do we got over here?
So where do we need to take Derek, huh? Where do we need to take him for everyone to meet up?
We'd have to go to London. Right, Jolene?
Yeah, London, best place to do it. And right, I mean, that's Comic Con. So I mean, I'm sure Derek can get a table.
Over there, yeah.
We're gonna go to the Reed Pop Comic Con that's over there. We'll be number one in line, lah.
All right, folks. This is the amazing work of our pal Matter Sorcier. She is doing her Misadventures of Buddy. This is an adventure if you were rolling one all the time, and all the crazy stuff that happens because you roll one. So she's doing the pre stuff, and this is the time when you can actually help out because it's free. You go sign up to get notified. It's free. You help it out in the algorithm. It gets when it starts. It's in a much better place. And Matta does everything herself. She does the art, the writing, the lettering. Matta is a female of all trades. And speaking of all trades, let me see. Do I still have it over here? Here it is. And if you like D&D, you will like Worse Than Mayhem. And of course, Matt is also doing a cover here for Worse Than Mayhem. A medieval caustic D&D style adventure. And of course, we love our D&D here, so you guys should go check it out and watch. I will speed through this, all beautiful stuff here. And I will show off Matt Sorcier's beautiful cover. There it is.
Sorry, Ralph. Sorry, need to cut you out there. I'm just gonna say goodbye to everyone.
It's all right, Jolie.
Thank you for having me.
Tell the people one more time where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, or you can just Google my name is Jolene, like that Dolly Parton song. Yeah, my dad got some good ideas on the name.
There you go. You can see the name right there. That's her website. And you know what I'm going to do for you guys? Because you guys are going to go, Ralph, it's too hard to go over there. I'm going to put I'm going to put it right there in the comments section. And you're going to go check out this beautiful music from Jolene herself. And of course, Joe, anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you all. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay, so that goes Joe. Let me put up her information. Hey, why are you messing? Oh, there we go.
So Jordan, what do you want to know about Anime NYC?
Ooh.
I mean, like I said, I heard King's Theater had a pretty nice 2-night concert there. Courtesy of Hololive.
But that's a
Hololive, ticketed of it, I think.
Yeah, we couldn't get in. I was able to go to the Creepy Nuts concert. That was fun.
I was Creepy Nuts.
Pretty good, actually. Pretty good.
Yeah, it sounded like the Mashal panel was pretty good.
Yeah. I had a conflict. I couldn't go to the Mashal panel, but
Alex was one of the people on the stage and stuff.
We went to the Fate Grand Order panel, and one of the voice actresses ended up recognizing Shen at the end, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, Taiga!" And like, it was as they were getting off the stage. It was a great panel. The Fate Grand Order panel was great.
Yeah, they were great. They love the crowd. They love the energy.
Yeah.
It's like all the guys say it. Like, in Japan, the people are very reserved. They were quiet. They come out to New York. Everybody's like, woo!
They were so happy. They were like, "Oh my goodness, people are reacting the moment we're talking."
So
some of them are Nihongo Jozu.
It seems like it also seems like Nikkei had a bigger presence last year than this year too.
Oh yeah, they were like barely there this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was actually surprised considering how large of a hold they have right
now.
Well,
Tony took a picture of the Evangelion banner.
Oh yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I think
which is going on right
bigger
now.
than the actual booth.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I have the list. I could see if they were even there.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah. Anything else you want to know while Ralph gets ready?
I'll say my favorite part. I'm gonna butcher his name, but like the voice actor for but this guy did so much stuff. He's the voice actor for Piccolo. He's the voice actor for Kai.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but he voiced for Ataru from Yurusei Yatsura, Shin from North Star. But I think it's Kai from Venom, Kaishin. But yeah, he did a lot of stuff. But anyway, okay. So if you're not all caught up with One Piece, just skip ahead. Just pause this. Just pause it for 2 minutes and come right back. Okay. So basically, he's the voice of Ace, and he read the line where like Ace died. Dude, like if you watch it.
Oh my God, you said it.
He died, then he goes like, like the line is what he says when he dies. He says when he's crying, he says, "Thank you for loving me," and he said it in Japanese and English. All of us cried. Everybody was crying. I thought like the manliest people. Like, it was awesome.
He got turned into a wonderful donut. It's fine.
So Jordan, what am I looking at, Jordan?
Otaku lamps.
Go ahead.
Oh, you mean the place where you have an affiliate code where if people buy something using that code, not only do they get a discount, but they'll be directly supporting you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And they have streetwear now?
Yep, Kaiju number 8 stuff. Yep.
So what should I be getting right now then?
All of it.
all of it.
Yep.
But I'm a poor broke boy. What is the code that we need to use?
Well, there's either the website link that I gave Ralph, or there's the code, which is Hagar10, HAGAR10.
And so by using that code, we get a 10% discount?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, this is the best news ever.
I know.
I can finally get a Straw Hat Jolly Roger LED neon sign to hang over my head at night.
And then if you want to buy their products but don't have like a debit card or whatever, but you have a Walmart near you, go to Walmart.
Oh, wow. You can do that?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've seen other places where
it doesn't benefit me, but it still benefits the company.
And what's this?
My whole affiliation with Play Asia.
Oh, you're just all over the place, aren't you?
Yeah. Tony knows all about this place. Tony was my only buyer so far.
Yeah, the only time I got it first. Yay!
Yep.
Oh, okay.
No, Play Asia's good. You can buy a bunch of stuff you can't get here in America, or you can get stuff there that are lower prices than how we sell them for in America. Like most of their game pre-orders are much less money than they are here in America.
Wow. That's always a good thing.
You can basically get any new Nintendo game for like $30 instead of 60. The only difference is that it'll be.
We used to get $30 games.
The only difference is that it'll be a Asian copy instead of ESRB.
Well, you hear folks gotta learn Japanese.
No.
Asia, I got my
all Asian copies have English language included.
Ah, come on! I was trying to make them learn Japanese.
Ow.
Yeah, from Play Asia, from Jordan, we got a discount.
Yeah.
I got my Captain Commander. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Captain Commando. Wait, this is more left and right. Oh, this is confusing. Captain Commando, Baby Commando. Yeah, like normally when I use Play Asia, like I would give the money and then they wouldn't like charge me until the ship. But I think because I did it through Jordan, it seemed like they charged me a lot earlier on, so that was very helpful. So I guess we can get the discount and you can get some of it. I guess so that's very helpful because usually it'll come out of nowhere, but like hey, it's about to drop, So these are pre-orders. So. But these are out. The whole series is out now. So that's eventually Ninja Commando and Mummy Commando.
Yep, their site is mostly where I've gotten most of my video game soundtracks.
Yeah. Oh,
But you still have to send me pictures of Tony.
I forget all the time, dude. I forget all the time, man.
I know. Just like these two forget stuff too.
What do you mean?
There's stuff I can do, but taking time to take pictures.
Yeah, I put Jordan's poster in a safe place, which is always a bad thing.
Yeah, putting crap in the box and setting it, I can do, but like actually going to buy crap and setting it.
Yeah.
I just look at all my CDs. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, between your music CDs, my poster, and my tote bag.
Yeah.
From last year's Anime NYC.
I'm literally looking at your tote bag right now.
Exactly.
That is not my fault, by the way.
No, I know.
I will have you know that was not my fault.
That's funny. That is really funny.
How's
we got to send Jordan.
How's that VR headset?
Yeah, pass it to anything you have for Jordan. Pass to me, and I'll throw in the box of stuff I got.
Tony, when do we see you?
I don't know. When's the next event?
New York Comic Con.
What's the next one?
New York Comic Con.
Yeah, even if I was to go, you know how beat-ups are in that place.
Yeah, we have trouble finding each other in New York Comic Con.
No, what I love is that we told Tony we were in the cosplay lounge and we were there for 2.5 hours.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
And Tony stayed in the quiet room.
And
it didn't come up to meet us until after we left the cosplay lounge.
You didn't go to the quiet room, and I told you I was in the quiet room the day before. And it's exactly
and we said that Jen needed to sit down in the cosplay lounge.
It's the same exact thing. But I was charging my phone. I couldn't really leave, man. So
we were literally at opposite ends of the con.
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
But it's Sunday.
actually
So
right there.
it's Sunday. It's always like that, man. We got to make a rule, man. No Sunday videos because we go through that.
Well, that's why I was happy that I saw you on Saturday because I knew we were going to meet on Sunday.
So we met Saturday. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
And folks, you can go check out the Instagram and see all the beautiful videos that we put up there, and you can even see Roaming Tony.
All right.
Anime NYC was a blast, folks. We had so much fun. Too much fun, actually.
Get ready for next year.
Yeah, same day.
Release the dates. When are we gonna get the tickets? We don't know.
Speaking of Anime NYC,
we'll go for Christmas again.
Yeah.
Speaking of Anime,
I like this way better than November, man. So personally, because it was like when they did in November, it was like they would get like the leftovers of New York Comic Con, like everybody who was at New York Comic Con this morning. Yeah, we'll be back for Anime NYC, and they would just like half, half that's it, So
you were saying, Jordan?
A new Deep Pity video about Anime NYC.
Yeah.
Yep.
I gotta say, this is the most content I've ever seen, ever. Actually, it's all over my feed. It's all Anime NYC. It's from different places, from different people, and I'm sitting there going, "What the? This is like a lot of people went."
Oh yeah,
a lot of people went. So, Mr. Nathaniel, are we forgetting something?
Cat Calmia has a Kickstarter, Sigma Comics has a Kickstarter, and that's it.
All right, folks, just to remind you of what's been happening over here today, I will show you our guests or what they were doing. Here we go. AJ was doing Kimi Kosmic. He has his Kickstarter right now. He's at 1976. He's trying to get to 2,500. We can get him to 3,000. Come on, folks. He has 5 days to go. 33 backers. We got this. Come on, help them out. And our friend Jerry has the Scott Snyder Presents Kickstarter for the Cloak Room. He's at 5,267. He's already funded. They got 26 hours to go. So if you guys are going to jump on this right now. Now, ahora. Stop watching the show. Go jump on it. And of course, Jolene is a fabulous musical composer, and she does a great job with game music and regular music. Go check her out. And if you want, I will share a little bit more of the music because I think we're already in trouble. I feel like playing D&D. Folks, go check her out. That is just amazing.
There is another.
Our pal, Son of Saint. Happy birthday, Son of Saint.
Happy birthday. Is it your birthday or is that just more opposite?
Oh, no, it's his birthday.
Okay, happy birthday then.
What were you saying, Jordan?
You have another link in the chat.
Yeah, I saw it. I put it up.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. He says, thank you kindly. And now to share Murder Bukake, they're back.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Ooh, and they're on the notify. So, Jordan, I don't remember a lot of this, but go ahead and say it.
Very X-rated.
I knew that part. What's the book about?
Yes. I still haven't read my issue 1 yet, so.
Folks, amazing art on Murder Bukake. Of course, when you notify, it helps out the product. So go get.
And then I can't remember if he still has his Wizard of Oz thing going or not. ECPD.
I think you might. I don't know.
EC.
Yes, folks, live TV when you have to look for something.
Oh well. All right, never mind.
Yeah, well, we'll find it and we'll put it up.
Nope, it ended.
Oh, so it did end. Okay, because I remember seeing it and it was like had a little bit of time left.
Yeah, his whole Wizard of Oz thing.
What's the book about? Yes, sign me up.
It's literally what's in the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
Just read it. That's what it's about.
Yeah. I'm going to make it easy for you, son. I'm going to put it into the comment section.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got to say, the art is amazing on this. Whew.
Soon I'll be playing my first Warhammer game.
Oh, I already know which one you're talking about.
Yep, good old Space Marines 2. Because it comes out next week.
Did you build your own figure to play with, or are you at that level?
No, God no.
Did you get the cards?
I don't care about any of the lore or any of the 50-year-olds backtracking. No.
How dare you? How dare you?
Well, correction. I have played one other Warhammer game. It was the pixelated one that they had come out earlier this year.
Oh man. Well, folks, there you have it. All the geeking we have geeked out today. Go check out all these fine people and go geek out. Have fun. And on this show, this happens when the show ends.
Oh.
Here.
We're
Actually, we'll be back Wednesday.
That's the written writ.
I know.
Yes, the written writ on Wednesday. Go check it out.
Do you ever think that whoever's eating the apple is unhealthy?
I don't know, man. They're just coring it out.
Yeah, but look at the way and how they're eating it. That's like creepy.
Yeah, they're eating it top to bottom, not sideways.
Sounds painful.
You'd have to have a hell of a jaw for that.
Oh, look, we're back. Bye, folks.
Jaw.
See it.